Welcome back to the Dahlem Realty Company podcast. Thank you for joining us. Today we have two very special guests. They are with the First Tee from Louisville. And the First Tee, I'm going to let them explain what that is, but we're talking about golf, and we're talking about kids, and trying to help kids become the best that they can be. So our first guest is Swain Beard. He's Senior Vice President at Marsh and a veteran executive benefits consultant who has spent nearly 3 decades helping companies design programs that recruit, retain, and reward great people. But today, we're talking about a different role that he has. As president of the First Tee, he is the president of the First Tee. He's on the Louisville Board of Directors. He's a 4-year golf letterman from the University of Kentucky and a lifelong advocate of the game. Swain has been instrumental in guiding this organization at the highest level. So, Swain, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
And our second guest is Bridget Dale. She is the brand new Chief Strategy and Advancement Officer at the First Tee at Louisville. And I do mean brand new. She's literally just been on the job, I think, since Monday. Am I right?
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, yes.
Yeah, so she's very, very fresh for this. But she has a connection to the organization for years. She has been a volunteer and a board member, and she's a lifelong golfer who earned a full scholarship at Hampton University, went on to earn an MBA from Bellarmine, and most recently served as COO of the Center for Nonprofit Excellence here in Louisville. So, Bridget, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Glad
Jim,
to be
I'd
here.
say that's a pretty good get for us.
I'd say it is.
After that bio.
Yeah. Congratulations. So, for people who are not familiar with the First Tee, what exactly is the organization and what is its mission? Swain, you want to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we are, we are a youth development program, and really we're focused on trying to develop leaders in our community, and we do that by teaching them life skills. And we have 9 core values that our great volunteers and employees help instill into the youth in our community. Honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, respect, confidence, responsibility, perseverance, courtesy, and judgment. And we really feel that those core values really lift up kids and help them really guide them through life.
Great. So it's not just a junior golf program, right, Bridget? I mean, what makes it different from a traditional golf instruction?
Honestly, what makes it different is those life skills that you learn. I often look at myself as a poster child kind of for the program, as someone who's grown up in junior golf, all the way through collegiate. What really makes this different is the skills that you learn as an adult. We love for you to be a wonderful golfer. As we all know, it's not everyone's going to be a great golfer, but it's really just about enjoying the game and teaching the kids from a very young age some of those skills and some of those values that Swain outlined about what we do and how really that helps, make for great character for young people as they matriculate and become young adults.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, Bridget, what drew you to the First Tee? I mean, you've been involved here in the organization for quite a while, but you are coming here with a different perspective on it. What's your
Really what drew me was overall just the mission. This was a complete, really a big alignment for me, having been in the nonprofit industry for a while, also being a lifelong golfer, understanding, again, like I said, I'm the poster child for what the program is really promoting, really understanding what it takes, for those who want to look at collegiate golf, but also at the same time, how that really translates into the business world as a young adult and as you get older, middle age, really understanding how the values and the skills that you learn through golf are going to be really amazing. For instance, I will say, with golf, it's sport. It's an individual sport. You're keeping your own score. It's a lot about integrity. It's a lot about strategic thinking, and every hole is different. And so your mind is constantly moving and learning and trying to strategize. And I think that's something that really would help any young person as they age.
Yeah. So, Swain, of course, in today's world of social media and screens and all of that stuff, how important is as a program like the First Tee for helping kids develop communication skills and leadership skills off the screens?
Well, I think we're all would benefit with our kids to spend more time, outside and less time on screens. Certainly, one of the things that I think that we talk about a lot and have tried to think about is not just through golf, how can we help kids develop, but also they're facing more and more challenges in their schools today, as it relates to social media and peer pressure and financial affordability for their families and so on and so forth. So we're really trying to develop programs and continue to focus on helping kids where they are, in life. And when we have 25 wonderful volunteers and we have got a great staff, and really that's what they're focused on. And it's pretty amazing, when you go to one of our programs and see, just how excited our volunteers are to, really make an impact on these kids.
How big is your staff?
Well, the First Tee of Louisville is a very unique organization. There are a few others like ours across the country. Atlanta is very similar. Also, but there's some that are very different in how we're structured and so on and so forth. So I say this because we operate 2 courses here in Louisville for the city. And so the reason why that's important is because it gives us a chance to provide the facilities and have control, and then also allow our kids to be able to participate, work at the courses and so on and so forth. So that's one part of our organization. But really the main focus, of course, is programming. And we have Deshaun Johnson, who has been our executive director for, I think, 19 years now. And so we've worked really closely together. He's fantastic. He's a master program skills holder within First Tee. He's been a tremendous promoter of our organization, not only to kids out in the community, but also to have our volunteer system the way that we have too. So, to answer your question, we have about 7.
Okay.
Total employees.
And you say it around the country,
First Tee.
Different. So some people have bigger organizations, some people have smaller ones, but this is a nationwide organization, right?
Yes, it is. It's kind of interesting. I have a lot of people ask me about, from a development and funding standpoint. The Nationals kind of operate as a national. We have to raise all of our money here locally in order to fund the programs that we have. We do get support from the National First Tee, obviously, with programming and from time to time some grants. But for the most part, everything that we do here within the First Tee of Louisville is dedicated to our community.
Gotcha. Okay. So, as we all know, golf is really has experienced a really big boom.
Yes.
Right. How does the First Tee help create the next generation of golfers and professionals outside of golf? I'll just throw that to either one of you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Again, I'm very new, but having known the game of golf, it goes right back to what Swain kind of described as really that programming. That programming have something for everyone. We make sure that the programming is accessible, providing those opportunities. I think in terms of how do we build the next generation of golfers is we're really pouring into them. Again, the work that we do, we could not do without our generous donors and also our volunteers that are out there every day getting the work done. For instance, this summer, we have a summer program, I believe, that started this week. It's probably at 5 or 6 different locations here across Louisville at very different age-based. And so that's really an opportunity for kids that we start from age 6 to kind of get out there, start swinging, seeing if it's something that they really enjoy, they attach to. And I think just giving children an opportunity to learn something new really does build character, and give them options as to, hey, do I want to look at this something long term? Is this something I could see myself doing as a career? Again, it's all about exposure. And that's one thing I think the game of golf does. It provides exposure to sometimes children who may not have that opportunity to do that. And again, we're able to do that with our volunteers, making sure our services are free, and also, making sure the equipment is there. Golf is a very expensive sport. Again, it's growing, and so we as an organization are growing right along with it to figure out what programming and what more interventions can we do for the youth here in Louisville.
Yeah, golf is expensive, especially if you're playing with me. I mean, I lose so many balls. I can't tell you how many I lose, and I'm so happy when I find one.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, wow, that's mine. I can take that.
Lose one, find one.
I'm so glad that you have a son that isn't as expensive as you, because I know he can golf his ball.
He can play. He can play, which makes him more expensive.
That's right. That's right. In other ways, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I've got a couple like that.
I got two boys who can actually swing the sticks pretty well. I don't know what happened with me. It's not that good.
Right.
So you were talking about careers. Have you seen anybody in First Tee Louisville go on in a golfing career, or in any part of any aspect of it, being a professional golfer, being working in the industry?
Well, I do know that obviously over the years we've impacted several. I don't have any specific names this morning that I could provide, but one thing that we are speaking about that very proud of is that we've given out over $80,000 in scholarships over the years, and I think that hopefully we can continue to increase that and really gain some more traction in the areas of risk, that really we're focused on as an organization.
What kind of scholarships are they? College scholarships? Or are you talking about high school? What?
College scholarships.
College, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but obviously, one of the things that I hope as the board chair to continue to do is, we're looking to develop additional relationships outside of just your traditional golf resources. So, for instance, the West End School, great organization. Gosh, we'd like to have as close a relationship with them and the Boys and Girls Club of Louisville and so on and so forth to be able to really continue to have an impact with the youth in our community.
So what role do the golf courses play then, and the PGA professionals and the business community with the First Tee? What role do they play? Either of you?
Well, I would say a huge part. I mean, we have some very great PGA professionals that are on our board, that have been on our board for years. Kevin Greenwell, Marty Storch, Craig Hebert. We couldn't do the things that we do without their leadership. And quite honestly, the relationship that we have with the city, that's been a tremendous, help to us. And I think we've been a really good help to them, they would say, in how we operate, Shawnee and Bobby Nichols. We just recently did
golf courses, right? Yeah. Shawnee and Bobby Nichols, those are the two golf courses, right?
Yeah. That we operate. And then, we just completed the first phase at Seneca for the places to play. We received a grant from both the PGA of America during the PGA Championship, and then also the Valhalla Foundation with Jimmy Kirkstorfer's leadership provided a match. So we had $500,000, and then we had some other donors provide an additional $100,000. So we were able to put that into to the project at Seneca, and then we were also able to get the parks to kick in some money, and then also Mayor Greenberg and the city also matched that as well. So, the project that we have that we're excited about, again, to kind of circle back on the pros and the golf community's involvement, we redesigned the short course there as the first phase, and then the second phase we're going to design a new chipping putting green area, and then I think the city is going to make some adjustments to hole 10 to improve that as well. So, I mean, we're really excited about that project because it's going to give our kids more exposure to, really good facilities.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Jimmy Kirchhofer was one of our guests early on our podcast. And for those of you who haven't listened to that one out there, you got to go back and listen to it. Jimmy is he's the CEO of a company called ISCO, but he is in the golfing community here. He is the majority owner of Valhalla Country Club here in Louisville, which hosted the PGA a few years back. And he's an all-around great guy. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many young people currently are being positively impacted by the First Tee across Kentucky?
Well, I would say year to date, it's a little over 1,500 students and youth have been impacted. And we continue to our goal is to continue to raise those numbers. The more youth we can get to here in the Louisville community, expose them to the game of golf, the better. Of course, given my new role, I would be remiss not to say we can't do that again without continued community support. So, one of the things we're really looking to do as we go into our 22nd year as an organization is really do more concerted outreach into the community, corporate partners, to kind of let them know a little bit more about the work that we do. I think for so long there were those misconceptions, we just do golf instruction for kids, but it's a lot more than that. And I think until you're out there, until you're a part of the game of golf, until you have a young person who's involved in one of our programs, that's when you truly understand the work that we do and how it can be beneficial. And again, I love being able myself through my own experience through golf, be able to help others really understand, hey, here's what it did for me, here's my story, and here's what I want to be able to give back to other young people.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great. So how does the First Tee ensure that golf is available to children who may not otherwise have the opportunity to play? I mean, Bridget, you just said it's an expensive sport.
Yeah.
And it is. And it's also very time consuming. So how do you all do that?
We do that. It's donors. I mean, we constantly have to get donors, grants in there. Again, building relationships is what's going to really be key. And we couldn't, again, do any of it without our volunteers. But the big piece of being able to provide our services for free is getting support from different people across the community, letting people know about our mission, the work that we're doing, the success that we're having, and continuing to try to elevate all of those different pieces for the organization.
Super. Okay. Okay, personal stories.
Yes.
All right.
Go for it.
So what is a moment from the time with the First Tee that still gives you chills when you think about it? Some moment that happened.
I'm going to swing that over to Swain.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I think what really excites me is when I go to a programming event and I just see the smiles on the kids' faces, especially the younger kids. It's really, really amazing. And, one of the things too, a little bit off topic, but, our goal is, really to try to continue to reach these kids as they become adolescence age. And that's one of the biggest challenges that we have. And so, through we're continually trying to create a winter program to keep it going. And so that's one of the challenges that we have that we're working on as an organization to be able to keep those kids in our program, because that's so important, especially as they get to that age where they have other distractions.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there a participant story that captures a First Tee moment? Can you think of some kid out there that did something that?
Wow, you're catching me off guard on that one. We have an impact luncheon, and so we bring in kids every year. So I've heard at least 30 kids give their stories and testimonials, and I really don't have one particular, but I will say they're all each amazing in how they talk about. And I think they do much better jobs publicly speaking than I do, in just how the programs really allowed them to grow as a young adult.
Okay. Gotcha. You have anything more to add on that, Bridget?
No, that would probably, I mean, for me, my first interaction with First Tee was at the Impact Luncheon. And I think one of the key pieces of that, that really touched my heart was, again, having those really unique and stories, and having the kids actually come up there and talk about their experience. There's nothing better than that firsthand testimonial from a child to say, this is what it meant to me. Here's how it helped me. And you never know who's in the audience and whose heartstrings that story may have touched. And you get more people that join every single year. But I think it's definitely something, it's wonderful to have the students and the kids up there really telling their story, their words.
That's great.
And just to piggyback on that, on our website, we do have our impact report.
Yes.
And our staff does an amazing job putting that together. But it has our youth stories in there, and we've been able to collect those over the years. So anyone that would like to go online to see, or we'll be happy to send it to you if you send us a note.
Well, what is the website?
Well, the website is firstteelouisville.org. I think it really does a great job of reflecting what our mission is and all the things that we do on a regular basis, has our schedules, our volunteers, and how important they are to our organization. And, most importantly, I think, too, our impact report. As I mentioned, it really gives a full accounting of really every, our corporate sponsors, our individual sponsors, the events that we have. Those are all collectively so important to our organization, because that's what funds the First Tee of Louisville. So we're very proud of that.
So I'm going to throw this to Bridget, because this is her job. Why should businesses support the First Tee? What's in it for them?
Helping this next generation of youth. As we explained earlier, youth have so many barriers and so many challenges coming at them that we didn't when we were coming through. And I think this is through the game of golf. It's a real opportunity to really fill the youth cup. Fill that cup up and help them understand, here's how we can provide more life skills for the youth. I think overall, why businesses and corporate partners should give to us is it's for the kids. They are our next generation of leaders, and it's important to us to be able to pour into them as authentically and as robustly as we can. Again, the game of golf, there are so many skills you can learn from it. Patience, integrity, strategy. There's so many different things that will help you not only personally in life, but also professionally. And I definitely think the game of golf is that opportunity, is the perfect opportunity to be able to do that. And I say, to organizations, people, potential donors that really want to understand and learn more about what we do, definitely reach out to us. I mean, you have our website, we have our impact report. We now have me on the team. And I would love to kind of really sit down and tell them about the game of golf. Again, a lot through my own experiences and what I gained from it. I think back to my experience as a child in it, and how, and looking at who I am as an adult now, and a lot of those skills I learned, I use every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I played soccer when I was younger, and my dad tried to get the golf clubs in my hands, and I just wanted to go out there on the soccer field and do that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm such a terrible golfer today.
But you enjoy it, right? Oh,
Most
okay.
days, some days, yeah. There's some days are more enjoyable than others. You talk about patience, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I've learned that. Yes, from golf.
You got to learn to dust it off.
Yes.
If I could add too, I've told my kids and family over the years, I was really lucky. Growing up in Frankfurt, had some great mentors that were great golfers, all Americans in college, and so on and so forth. But as I always say, I was lucky enough to be impacted by the pros at the course that I worked at in Frankfurt. And, so I know firsthand, even though I haven't been through the First Tee program, I almost feel like through that, working in the golf shop and running the range and greeting people when they came to the course and loading their golf bags and cleaning their clubs and all the things that you do when you're working at the pro shop when you're 12 to 19. I learned a lot of good stuff, and have Kenny Hickman and Bruce Brown were very impactful to me in my life, and then also some other great mentors too. But I think that's what it's all about. When you look at the First Tee, you look at what we're doing. It's the mentorship from the volunteers and from our staff, and really staying in touch with those folks as we do have a former grad that's in our programming department. So those things do tend to come back around to us, and hopefully they can give back, and the next person will step up as well.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, we're gonna hit some fun questions here.
All right.
All right.
We're ready.
All right. Both of you, favorite golf course in Kentucky?
Wow. That's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
Swain, do you want to start? Or
Man, I'm going to tell you, I've got I've got three going through my head, and I'll probably make somebody upset, but if I could, Frankfort Country Club, because I've played 18 million rounds there, and it's one of the funnest golf courses you'll ever play. And then I really like Big Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's going to be really mad at me. But Big Spring was always, as a kid growing up and playing competitively, it was always my favorite course to play. And I still love the membership there, and love that golf course tremendously.
Gotcha.
And for me, I would definitely say it really goes back to home. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Wysinger Hills Golf Course. That's the golf course I grew up on in Shelbyville, Kentucky. So for me, that's where it all started for me. So that will always have that course will always have a place in my heart. Of course, I love Valhalla Golf Course. Again, I worked in the pro shop there when I was in high school. Got to play it a couple times. It's hard as I don't know what. Do not get in the rough. But hey, that's the game of golf strategy.
Right.
Stay in the fairway. But I really did enjoy that. I really do enjoy that golf course. And also one that I really enjoy because I've played so many scrambles there. Swain's going to be like, okay. I like Shawnee. I really do enjoy it. I have so many good memories from there, from many different nonprofit organizations participating in their scrambles. And so that one means a lot to me as well. Even as a junior golfer, I played a lot of tournaments there. And so for me, it's about that emotional connection. Yeah, for me. But yeah, those would be the three.
So Valhalla, you were working in the old pro shop in the old building?
No, the new building.
The new building? Okay.
Yeah, the new building.
Okay, the old building, it was the original pro shop, and Dahlem Construction Company built that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Good.
and I was a laborer on that site.
Yeah.
It was a rainy, muddy mess when they were building Valhalla, but you just kept working in the rain and do what you needed to do.
Got it
But,
done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
So most underrated golf course in Kentucky.
Well, I have two. One that is a definite is Hurstburn. Obviously, ISCO Championship proved that out last year. I'm fortunate enough to be on the board of that event, and I think the course really held up well, and really the pros really spoke very highly of Hurstburn, and so I would say that's be my choice there.
I have two. I would agree with Swain. I love Hurstburn Country Club. Played there on Monday. Beautiful, beautiful course. Really loved it. Definitely looking forward to the ISCO Championship coming up. In terms of for junior golfers, one that really does stand out to me that's a great place to learn is a local public golf course, Crescent Hill. 9 holes. Yeah. It's a great course to learn on. You get a little bit of everything there. It's not 18 holes, so it's not too much. Sometimes I feel like people are like, oh my gosh, it's 18 holes. But it's a good course to learn on, especially when you get to, is it number 8? Yeah. That hill? Oh, yes. Yep. By the time you get there, you're like, is it done yet? But I love that golf course. When I first moved here back to Louisville, the Louisville area, I frequent there a lot and saw a lot of junior golfers there. So I think that would be it for me.
Yeah, my oldest son worked there. So,
okay.
Yeah. If you could play one round with any person, living or deceased, who would that be?
Well, mine would be my uncle, who's very impactful to me. I'm choked up. He was my mentor along with my dad. Was very lucky to have great family. But my uncle exposed me to so much as a young person through the game of golf. And so with his encouragement and help in a lot of ways, I think, that's who I would choose. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a big car. I wasn't ready for that one. I'm like Swain. I kind of go back to very personal. For me, golf is a very personal sport for me. There's nothing for me like playing with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about it. He's the one who exposed me to golf for the first time. I remember my first time out on a golf course. It was actually Clear Creek Golf Course in Shelby County. And my dad was playing. I came along. I think it was maybe 5. Came along, running, fell in the mud. On the first hole, my dad had a beautiful shot. And he was like, "Are you serious? We got to go home now?" He was like, I get a good shot. I was like, "I'm sorry," but I was young. And so I think about things like that. For me, a lot of my best memories, especially as my parents are getting to be older, is just enjoying those moments on the golf course, good and sometimes bad when you're arguing as a junior golfer and they're trying to tell you do this and you're like, I want to do this. But I'll say, it definitely would be my father. I mean, I'm one of those golfers. I don't do a lot of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
The one person at the end of the day who could always get my swing together no matter what is my dad.
Yeah.
And so I love to play with him. He doesn't always play well, but I just love his presence there. So that's someone very personal. In terms of anyone more famous, any of the top golfers right now, I would love to play with. Anyone that's out there, I think I could definitely benefit from that. Love to see how their brain thinks a little differently as a professional golfer. I'm all there for it. Again, it's definitely a game of strategy. Your mind has to be there. And just seeing how they get through those challenging moments on the golf course would be very, very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My favorite. I'll answer the question. It'd be my dad too. He passed away in 2018, but definitely my dad because he was always pushing me in the game of golf. Quick story on this that I'll tell. So we were playing golf one time. I was in my late 20s, and as I've already said, I'm a terrible golfer. And my dad looked at me, and he still owned stock in our company at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You really need to get your handicap down. This is a great game. You need to get out here and work on this." And so he was kind of giving me some hard way to go about it and everything. I said, "Dad, I think that sounds like a great idea." I said, "But the day you see my handicap start dropping precipitously is the day you might want to start getting concerned." And he looked at me for about 5 seconds, and he said, "I see your point," and he grabbed his putter and walked on the green, and he never said another word to me about it again.
That conversation, you're like, it's done.
I've got to work.
Yeah.
I've got things to do here. What are you most excited about for the future?
Personally, I'm really excited about Bridget because, we're so lucky to have her. She is going to bring so much knowledge and excitement to what we're doing. Number one. Number two, I would say that I'm also excited about the future and the things that I think that from a strategic standpoint, what we have on the board to develop and continue to grow, I'm really excited about because I think that, we do have a unique opportunity to be and continue to be one of the most thought of First Tee chapters in the country. And, to continue to bring corporate partnerships in, to continue to expand our reach within the schools. Hopefully, the Catholic school system, we would like to do some more in that area. And then, too, I think, having some ambassadors to help us go to the schools and promote other things other than just, the First Tee. we were talking about kids having other challenges, and if you have the right ambassadors that can excite kids to think differently, that's really what I'm excited about, is being able to really have that kind of impact to more and more of our youth in our community.
Yeah. And for me, I think overall, this is a full circle moment for me. Again, having grown up with the game of golf and finally getting to combine two of my passions, nonprofit work, and also the game of golf, and as that relates to youth, those two things mean an abundance to me. It really is a part of who I am in my heart. As I'm start this new role, I'm definitely excited to work, with the whole First Tee organization, the team, the board. Like I said, I was a board member not too long ago, so I have the various different perspectives. But I'm really looking forward to working with the team, getting out in the community, meeting the current donors that we have, being introduced to new prospective donors, and getting to know the youth a little bit more and their parents as well, because the students can't get to our programming without the parents. So understanding, what can we do to support the parents as well on their child's journey to golf, things of that nature. To me, that's really what I'm looking forward to. I think right now we have a really unique opportunity now to, continue to raise money, continue to really get our mission out there, expose people to it. So for me, it's really going to be about what's really critical is going to be making those connections. Again, there's so much we can do in the community, but a lot of it also comes down to capacity. We are not unlike any other nonprofit organization out there. We're all going through our challenges, funding-wise and everything of that nature, but it's about being creative, about being innovative, and getting the right donors on board to kind of help catapult and be able to bring different programming to life. I know we had a meeting yesterday. That was one of the things that came out of it is there's so much that we can do. We have different organizations and people coming to us say, we would love to integrate you into the work that we're doing. But again, it's about having volunteers, that capacity to be able to do that. And we can't do that work without our generous donors and our board and the volunteers. It takes a village, and to continue to do the work that we do.
Some examples of our great long-term corporate sponsors are Norton Healthcare and really their commitment to their healthy eating program, which we promote through our programming. Also, of course, ISCO has been just tremendous. Delta Dental, Stifle Financial, Rob and Missy Kramer, Louisville Paving, Anthem, Zoller Pumps, and Paul Varga. They've just all been tremendous partners over the years, and we couldn't do what we do without their support.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for coming in, both Bridget Dale and Swain Beard. This has been a really great discussion, and I wish you the best of luck with the First Tee of Louisville.
Thank you so much, Jim. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. It's been wonderful.